If your job is trying to improve these commercial relations, how you doing?
Well, we'll know more, I guess, in a few weeks or months' time. Listen, all the activity over the past couple of days, all your reporting is spot on. It's not the end game yet. Nothing was actually implemented. It looks like we're triggering a phase here where negotiations can kick in, and that's exactly what the business community wants. You know, lost in all the noise of the past couple of days about tariffs is that there are some very real issues on the table that the U.S. government actually started pursuing last August, and that's around China's policies and practices that, in essence, require technology to be transferred for market access in certain sectors. Business community would like to see those issues addressed, but we want to see the two governments come to the table to try to do that and not get into a trade war or tit-for-tat tariffs that are going to do collateral damage to each country's economy without having some kind of a result.
And John, I think pretty much everybody, at least in the United States, seems to agree more or less on that point that something needs to be done. Jamie Dimon was out with a letter just today, and he said something needs to be done. The question is, are we going about it the most effective and efficacious way possible? We had a reaction from the Chinese state media, actually, overnight that indicate the Chinese, at least, thinks they're getting the upper hand in these negotiations. This is part of what the Global Times had to say. As China deploys its a counterattack, the pleasure that the United States achieved from those tariffs will now cause them suffering as their financial and political gains diminish to zero. Now, this is state speak. It sounds like state speak. At the same point, do they have a kind of a point about this? Because we came out and said, boy, we're going to be really tough, and then almost immediately with the administration dialing it back, saying, oh, no, it's just a proposal.
Well, listen, I think the quote you gave there from the Chinese media outlet just underscores the point that, you know, no matter who gets hurt more or who gets hurt less, both sides would get hurt. And that's what the danger is about going down this road. If you get to the negotiating table, it's important to figure out what are the objectives that we want to get out of this. And the Trump administration so far hasn't articulated that very well. In other words, for them, what would success look like? What would it take specifically that they want China to do that would take tariffs off the table? From the U.S.-China Business Council perspective, we're very much focused on solutions to the issues at hand. And we would say, for example, get China to end requirements for joint ventures in certain sectors, which give them the leverage to require technology to be transferred. But we haven't yet seen what the administration is setting out for its objectives, so it's hard to assess the risk around whether or not they will be able to achieve the result they want, and therefore tariffs will indeed not be employed.